one chance, one move, one dance, one shot. Brace yourself for the bass. One shot.
Saints Nation, welcome back to PlayVS Overwatch. Of course, Week 5 action between St. Clair College and Missouri Western State University. Both these teams, 1 and 3 currently, tied for the 41st position here in the league overall. And both of them obviously want to get one more step closer to positive. My name's Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danner, is going to be producing and bringing you the action here tonight. Of course, best of 5. Ready to get right into the swing of things, actually. We don't have to waste very much time at all. Let's hop right on in to game number 1, which of course is going to be Lijiang Tower for this starting matchup. On the left-hand side, we are going to have the St. Clair squad. Then on the blue or on the right-hand side, of course, we are going to have Missouri Western State. Starting things, of course, on Lijiang here inside this tower, this gazebo. I'm not sure exactly what you want to call this thing, but I'm going to start things off right away. A couple things to definitely keep an eye on as this first engagement does go down. Apostle with a solid bubble onto the tank line of Prince Wada. And a lot of times you see with the Saints, with their engages, is how quickly can they find the supports or can they keep their supports alive? Available in the backlines. Already find himself a good double to start things off against the Missouri Western State University squad. Baleable going to pick himself up another one, and Saints are going to successfully be able to capture this first point here as the attacking squad, or the attacking Missouri Western State University squad, having a little bit of a hard time to at least start things off, but of course still extremely early here tonight. Of course, actually introduce our Missouri Western State University squad. We do have Shellboy, we have Jesse McCream, Jammin' Cat, Valkyr, Gunner, and Ninja Pyro. Then, of course, the hometown squad. You know who they are, but just in case you don't, we have Apostle, we have Imp, Commanda, Prince Wada, Baleable, and Kale, respectively, here on the Saint squad. Of course, here we go. We're going to see Prince Wada jump on in. He is nano boosted as well. And just sit there with the taser, do a ton of damage. Granted, nearly getting extremely low, but he does get the Promo Rage just in time. Going to send Jesse McCream all the way back to the other side. Shellboy, however, made the switch on over to the McCree, which did manage to pick off one, but Kale's McCree as well going to take care of Jesse McCream. They're still trying to make something happen here. Ninja Pyro with the Shatter, not going to quite find anything. Apostle's Graviton going to keep the rest of this squad kind of tied up here. It's actually Missouri finding their way onto this point. Apostle going to be the last one alive onto point. Commander off in the background, of course, not a very tanky individual, does not want to be anywhere near that point. Prince Wada with one last-ditch effort to get a couple extra percent here. But solid job here from Jammin' Cat and the rest of the Missouri Western State squad to get themselves a capture on this point, start getting themselves a little bit of percent for themselves, and we do have a grav ready on the side of Missouri when the next engagement does go down. Prince Wada going to lead the charge. Closest ultimate we have here would be, of course, Kale's Deadeye. However, the big team fight ultimate of that rally is going to be huge, and that's going to be a huge pick for Prince Wada right off the start. However, a solid Graviton right on the bridge is going to make things messy for the Saints to try and follow up on. Baleable and Kale, Prince Wada, Apostle, they're all down, so they're going to be sent back packing. Next time by, they will have 2 ultimates to use. But another solid hold, especially considering Gunner basically got popped as soon as that team fight went underway. The fact they were able to just turn that around very nicely was absolutely huge. That's going to be Imp there with the rally, followed up by the the Deadeye there from Shellboy to take care of Prince Wada. Big tank down, and Saints got to decide real quick if they want to continue on here. They're actually going to just do Deadeye for Deadeye, but Imp is going to end up going down. They're getting kind of stunned up a little bit. Where in the world is the battle actually going down here? We see Apostle, not Apostle, Apostle's moving forward on the front lines, but Available here in the skies, trying to pick off from the sides. Vanda does have that nano boost available. Who is all boosted up in this situation? Of course, it is going to be Prince Wada once again, but he is purpled. He cannot be healed. He is going to get taken down nice and quick. Graviton nearby, available, does have the Shatter available from an Echo ultimate, but does not quite find as much value for it as I'm sure he was hoping for. So far, so good here from Missouri. Saints need to back off to get one more reset here, one more team fight, but it looks like they're just going to just go for it. Not enough time left on the clock to do so. Going to pop the Graviton, but it's going to gather them up, and nobody's really going down. The Saints are dropping. They are going to be able to get that last second timeout, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Valkyr and the rest of the squad, they even had a Death Blossom there from Jesse McCream to hold things off, so a solid start here for Missouri Western State. They catch the point second, but they're able to get the job done nonetheless, so solid job there. But of course, these initial control points are basically a best of three amongst themselves stuck in game one. So Saints not going down one, not yet. So plenty of time in theory. Whereas this one, a little bit different. This is normally where we see things kind of start out. This is the pagoda-looking one that I was thinking we were initially going to start on. But of course, capture point inside the building, and it's surrounded constantly by open area that you can get absolutely taken off the sides with. So definitely something we're going to have to keep an eye on. But one thing I also want to mention to Kale, going to be switching over to the Symmetra. We're going to have some teleport plays to get the Saints all instantly onto the point nice and quickly, giving them the defender's advantage pretty much right away. So if they can hold this, that would be absolutely clutch, but they do have to watch out for this Missouri squad. Shellboy's picking up the Echo this time by. He's trying to poke from the sides as much as possible. Does have a couple of the Saints members a little bit worse for wear, but Imp and Command are going to keep everybody all topped off for the time being. Right along here, Imp is, of course, that's very slow, but does have that team-wide healing, but does not exactly heal very quickly. Of course, has to amp it up in order to do so, but it doesn't matter if you get purple. Gunner did have the biotic nade onto the tank line, which could have been absolutely brutal. And Saints' tank line is actually extremely low in this situation. Both Apostle and Prince Wada going to fall, and everybody else is going to be short to follow. And everybody just gets completely wiped on the side of St. Clair. Beautiful attack coming out here from Missouri Western State University. They don't lose a thing, and they just absolutely crush it. Shellboy, too, did pick up the Echo Ultimate and transformed into the Reinhardt, bringing an extra shatter to the fight as well. It's just that much nicer. Because Ninja Pro would have fired one off, Shellboy would have fired one off. It would have been a tough spot to try and go into. Saints going to take the long way around, though, this time. Trying to make their way over towards the point. Symmetra still in play here for Kale, of course, with these double shields. With the more and more that beam hits shields, the better. That is going to be the Deadeye. This is coming from Bailable. Where in the world? He's just point blank, actually, trying to find a quick pick. Not going to be the case. Commanda falls early, however. Definitely going to be a detriment for the Saints. As we now see Ninja Pro, he's all cracked up and ready to go with that nano boost from Gunner. Just going to charge on forward. Apostle's going to be the first casualty, which is going to basically clean this fight up nice and quick. Basically, just the nano boost needed. Nothing else needed to win that fight. So Saints back to the drawing board to try and make something happen. They do have 3. Going to have about 4 ults by the time this next fight does occur. Of course, Prince Wada has the shatter, and we're going to see the teleport come through. Where did that Graviton go? He actually tried to mess up people who was going for the teleporter, but all the Saints actually got out of there nice and clean. So a big ultimate goes down. Huge shatter coming out here from Prince Wada, finding 3. He's going to find himself the double. Imp's going to get himself on the board as well. Then the Saints are on hot pursuit. Going to flip this point over into their favor, completely wipe this up. They got that fight with just the shatter. Prince Wada hitting his mark and coming in clutch here for the Saints. A lot of these fights, though, here for Saints, it always depends. I kind of touched on it during the first round, but for the support line, can they keep themselves into a position where they stay safe enough so that they can make proper use for themselves the longer these fights go on. Sadly, a little bit for most of the season, they get picked off kind of quickly, but actually, we're going to see Apostle just basically shut that team fight down before it even gets a chance to begin. Huge boulder right into the face of Valkyr. Going to try and run for the hills, but another solid team fight win here for St. Clair. Chase down and actually get themselves another 2 kills. 75% on the scoreboard here for St. Clair, looking to put this to a game 3. Or a round 3 and game number 1, rather. And what do Saints have? They have the support ultimates on board, plus the shield from Kale. So very defensive, which is definitely going to be necessary. I think they're going to basically need pretty well everything. And they're going to start things off here with the shield from Kale. A lot of low health bars on the side of Missouri, and that's a solid shot there. Commander going to find the killing blow that time. And she's going to just end up popping that amplification matrix to just do a little bit of extra damage, a little bit of long-range healing, and it's coming in clutch so far. As of right now, Saints have been able to hold this off for just a bit longer. Kale with the double, Apostle finds one, and I think the Saints are going to clean up this second one. Deadeye, last-ditch effort going to be coming out here from Jesse McCream, but it is not going to be the case. Round 3 for game number 1 is about to get underway, as Saints are going to be able to tie this one up. All coming down to the final point here on Lijiang Tower. Of course, the a carousel of madness of sorts, if you will, as we do have, of course, this area here as your capture point this time by lots of area, or a couple areas for cover, but at the same time, still quite open. So we'll probably see a switch to something specific, and that is exactly what I'm thinking about. We got both Shellboy and Bailable picking up the Junkrat. There's so much close quarters combat here in this area of Lijiang that you can just see all these grenades coming through, just doing so much AoE damage across the board of Missouri, and on the Saints as well, to be fair. But with the Saints using that teleporter, they did get themselves a defensive advantage. An uncharacteristic early death here from Bailable as he gets completely smoked by the fire strike of Ninja Pyro. He may be playing his tank, but I guess he's a bit of a sniper here with that fire strike. A huge early kill, which is going to allow them to easily move on to point, hold a defensive position, and start racking up some percent nice and quickly. Saints going to move on forward here. Prince Wada kind of flanked a little bit. He's going to have to go back into the corridor. Commander already using the invulnerability matrix, so that is going to be gone for this team fight. Riptire coming on through, and this is looking troublesome as it's going to be Jammin' Cat able to find himself 2 real quick. One casualty is going to be Jesse McCream on the side of Missouri, but the rest of Missouri Western State University are going to be able to clean up nicely. Prince Wada does eventually go down, backpack into the spawn ship, if you will, and they're going to have to try this once again. We're going to have the amplification matrix available from Commanda, as well as the shatter here from Prince Wada, with a couple extra ultimates available as well from the Saints. So you're going to have to take a look. That's going to be the shatter. It is going to find one, but Prince Wada is going to basically drop instantly, and that's going to be the counter shatter. That was absolutely huge coming out of Ninja Pyro. Takes basically every Saints member left, and that is going to be basically the clean sweep. Unfortunate there for the St. Clair squad, just completely lined them up there for Ninja Pyro and gets himself completely stuck. Still have some ultimates available. Riptire going to be right around the corner alongside the Flux and the Sound Barrier here. So it's going to be up for a pick in order to make this happen. Gotta wait for this Riptire. When will it be ripped out? Obviously, it's not something that can be too predictable, and it's going to get paired up here with Apostles. Flux, it's going to go into the back line. It's going to take care of Jammin' Cat as well as Valkyr. So that's a good double to start things off here for Saints. Available with the triple. Going to keep on pushing here. McCream, of course, down. There goes Shellboy, and the Saints are going to be able to flip this one around with the last couple seconds left here on that point. Going to keep game 1 within reach. 92% captured off of that one initial capture from the side of Missouri. So tall task ahead here for the Saints. One bad team fight, and that's basically curtains. Nano Reaper is right around the corner as well, so which is definitely a combo I'm going to be worried about. Where does he take the opportunity to dive on in? And vulnerability matrix is gone. Here comes the Riptile Riptire as well. It is going to be shot down, I do believe, unless it's still driving. No, it is still driving in the background. Valkyr goes down, and okay, Bailable is going to find the Riptire from Shellboy, so it's not going to be very effective in the slightest. Jesse is getting close to death, and actually right now, there's just so much AoE damage coming out from Bailable that the Saints are just going to be able to plow right through this. He's going to find himself another huge triple, and everybody else is just going to end up falling. Gunner just going to jump off the side. He needs to regroup with his team. So a quadra coming out here from Bailable and a 1 to Prince Wada as well. Huge hold so far here for St. Clair, about halfway through this initial point on Lijiang Tower. Of course, they want to take this first game. Here comes the Riptire alongside the Shatter, a little bit off pace it looks like, but who is he going to find? He's going to find himself a double. All right, so Prince Wada with the triple and then double here for Bailable. But that being said, they still didn't completely skunk themselves in regards to resources. Apostle, Flux still ready and waiting, and some of these close corridors make that ultimate absolutely brutal to deal with. You have command of the amplification matrix, whether that be healing or damage, going to be huge. It's going to be a good Flux, carrying about 3 or 4 of them, and Commanda is going to find herself the double, taking care of the front line and the back line, and Saints have just got themselves into a solid position, and they're not going to let it go. Beautifully done so far here for St. Clair, unless Shellboy has the last-ditch effort to try and get a back cap. Not going to make it there in time. St. Clair going to take game number 1. A very, very close back-and-forth matchup there between these two teams. And if this is how it's going to be all day, then we are going to be in for a treat. Records don't always say quality in regards to the matches that we're going to be having here. And Jammin' Cat going to find himself, okay, that was a cheeky little graviton. Going to send a bunch of them falling off the map. Beautiful timing there from Jammin' Cat, to be honest. A cheeky little play to get the play of the game, but in the end, not going to be enough here for the Missouri squad. That being said, though, still extremely close. Game number 2, of course, going to be starting up in just a moment. Very, very, very close game. It's fixing up the lobby, of course, for game 2. Should not take too much longer. It's time. And at the same time, just looking at some of this, some of that first game there. When it looks like Missouri, when they got that initial capture, I'm thinking of, like, say, the first round. They just did not let up there in the slightest. They were able to hold the bridge nicely. When the Saints tried to get on the other side, it just didn't quite work out. Saints were kind of staggered a little bit. Even if they were all going in as 6th, their timing may have not necessarily been correct. So, like, someone may have dove it in before Prince Wada, or Prince Wada dove in before everybody else was ready. And then even in the situation where Gunner got taken down in that first round, just the rest of the team was right there to back him up. And then in game 2, I know I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier, but one of the more exploitable parts of the St. Clair's gameplay is those early picks used up against them. If they can get themselves into a proper 6v6, everybody's on the same page, and they go, they pretty much win the team fight 9 times out of 10. But getting to that clean team fight state has always been a struggle. Like I was saying before, whether it was Prince Wada diving in before the rest of the team was ready, or somebody dives onto the supports, Imp or Imp Commanda, or it's one of the DPS players, whether it be Kale or Bailable, get picked off nice and quick. Like, say that in game 3, that Fire Strike that came out from Ninja Pyro. The fact that he was able to get rid of the Junkrat so quick on such or on a map that suits a Junkrat so well, sent the Saints basically packing. So these early picks, if the Saints don't get themselves caught out, this is going to be an easy series for them. But of course, or not even an easy series, don't get me wrong, but it'll be much easier for them, to say the least. I don't want to make it sound like this Missouri squad is an easy bunch to take down. Of course not. Did we see game 1? That was extremely close. And it just helped that the team that St. Clair drafted for that third game did suit once they got themselves into a solid defensive hold, that they are going to be able to capture it and hang on to it. So the fact that they are going to able to go 0 to 100 was absolutely clutch. But this map in this mode is going to be very difficult, to say the least, to try and pull this one off, because we are going to 2 CP, 2 capture points for game number 2, and we're picking Hanamura. We're about to hop right into the swing of things in just the moments, but of course, still so much action here on this Saints Gaming CA channel, so be sure to join us tomorrow as well. Rocket League takes the stage in NECC action up against the Durham Lords, one of the teams that did make the CRL. We're definitely the underdogs, but we've definitely given them a run for their money in the past. We're going to need your energy for this one. Make sure you join us tomorrow as well. Now let's take a look. Of course, big old pagoda going to be the capture points for this first section. And everyone has to clear this deadly little archway here to start off this round. And we're going to see a heavy, heavy defensive style coming out here from the Saints. Meanwhile, it looks like Shellboy picking up the Symmetra this time. They're probably thinking about some sort of teleporter play. We'll have to see as we move on forward into this one. Are they going to go up high? And our team's going to spot this. Sure enough, they are. And it's going to get jumped on right onto Imp. Imp going to be forced to run for the hills, picking up the Mercy here this time by. And they're already on the point and setting up their defenses. This is actually extremely effective so far here from the Missouri State University squad. And this is going to be quite brutal. We got Kale from the background trying to do as much damage as possible, going right into Valkyr, but just so much healing across that entire squad, doing a solid job. Valkyr eventually going to go down. Kale going to find that one. 1/3 of this point has been ticked down. Where is the front line? Unfortunately, Apostle's taken down to his Baby Diva form, and the rest of the Saints are so squishy they cannot contest. A huge opening attack coming out here from Missouri Western State University. Going to take that, not completely with these, but rather convincingly still. So beautifully done nonetheless. It's going to send Saints packing back to the second point this time by. Of course, teleporter is available, so Saints going to be trying to make sure they have all points covered. Jesse McCreeve getting himself a little bit picked out. Was not quite expecting the Saints to be there, and nearly ends up going down. Of course, we can see it right here, the second capture point ready and waiting, available on the Hanzo. A little bit of a double, either double long range, double sniper. I'm not sure what you want to call Ash, but long range composition coming out here for St. Clair, and the teleporter could definitely shut that down. However, Kale and Prince Wada going to be finding themselves some quick eliminations here in this one. Shellboy's going to find Imp, but that's not going to be enough. Baleable finds himself yet another one from the high ground here. Going to take the teleporter all the way to the other side. Are they going to try and stall this out and wait for the team? Where is the rest of the squad? Are they going to make it here on time? Point blank battle here with Gunner is going to go in the way of Apostle and Baleable, so it is going to end up getting shut down. They stalled themselves out and basically staggered themselves out a little bit. Of course, still 5 minutes on the clock here for Missouri Western State University to make the play. And they do have some ultimates available. To be honest, this is actually a disgusting opportunity for Missouri, considering the amount of ultimates they have available and they have around the corner. The only thing Saints are going to be able to answer with is a Diva Bomb and Bob coming out here from Kale. And I don't think that's going to be able to burn through what Missouri Western State University has if they just want to all in this. We're going to have to see. Teleports right on in. Where is the Graviton? I know Jam and Cat is looking for it. They don't even need it. They take Prince Wada down before an ultimate even comes down. Bob is going to come down, but that's going to be a huge shatter coming down from Ninja Pyro. And here comes Apostle with the Diva Bomb. We knew that was going to be coming out at some point. There's going to be the Death Blossom coming out from Jesse McCrean, but it is going to take care of Commanda before McCrean does fall. So at least the 1-for-1 in that regard. Apostle and Prince Wada back on the point, trying to hold as long as damn well possible. Baby Diva form here for Apostle as well, trying to make this pistol do as much damage. Good purple coming out here from Commanda. Where is the nano boost? It's right on the Prince Wada. He's got himself a double so far. Can he find one more? Definitely looking for it. Baleable going to take care of that one. And the Saints are going to be able to hold that just by the skin of their teeth without even losing a single third of the point. Solid hold. No more resources really available here on the side of Missouri other than the Graviton. That being said, those Saints definitely had to use whatever they had around the corner as well. Shatter still available here for Prince Wada. Going to be a game changer for sure, as we do see Baleable looking for some quick damage. And oh my god, Shellboy! Huge snipe onto Baleable to start this one off. And again, like the 5-on-6s before the team fight even gets a chance to start could be spelling doom here for St. Clair. We got to watch out for Prince Wada. Where's that shatter? He's going to find one, and the one that mattered. Apostle eats that Graviton up from Jammin' Cat, so that is going to completely turn this team fight on its head. It didn't matter if it was a 5v6. You take away their resources, the Saints are going to plow through. Just a matter of dealing with Shellboy. She's doing her as best as she damn well can, even finding some early picks, but not enough to take that one. But now we have ourselves in a bit of a stalemate in regards to resources. It's going to be just Kale with the Bob available. Came in pretty clutch in that last, or the second to last engagement. And Baleable's going to be the one who actually finds the quick pick this time. On to Valkyr, taking care of one of the supports on the side of Missouri. So solid job from him. Of course, normally when we see this Hanzo come out, it is kind of paired up with Apostle on the Zarya, but that's not going to be the case. So there's not going to be anything to gobble up everybody and get them all together for that Dragon Strike. He's going to have to use it basically by himself. Available, getting taken down at least a little bit. Jammin' Cat making the switch over to the hamster there on that Wrecking Ball, going to get taken down extremely quickly. Does not appear that this Missouri squad was on the same page for that attack, and they basically just fed ultimates over to the side of St. Clair. To be honest, I think Saints have held this on long enough that they should be able to take care of this. Because right now, unless the Saints just sit in Shellboy's Dragon Shot, I don't think there is going to be any chance for this this team to take care of it, and Kale gonna find the early one. The only ultimate available there was from Shellboy, and the fact that Shellboy goes down so quickly is going to stall this out even more, making one of the last 6v6 push going to happen at like the 30-second mark or so. Not going to give Missouri Western State University much time to make a play happen. See Kale, right? Cursors planted on that corridor. Knows the Wrecking Ball was there, which means the rest of the team is probably short to follow, and he will be correct. Does have to watch out for Jesse McCream. Does not want to get sniped out, but actually, solid start here for Kale. One shot, of course, down to about half health. Nicely done. Kale's going to get jumped on, however. That's going to be the nano-boosted monkey from Ninja Pyro, and that is going to be deadly, actually. Support line from Saints are dead already. They just completely dove onto him. Not much you can really do. But what is the rest of the answer here for St. Clair? Where is Apostle? Basically dead center on the point. That's going to be the Diva Bomb. It's going to... Oh my goodness, Jesse McCream comes in clutch with that Deadeye right as the shield goes down, as Apostle hops out of the Diva mech, and that is going to be completely flipped on its head. Commentator's curse at its finest. Saints are not going to be able to hold. Beautifully done, Missouri.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
I say time and time again, I don't mind being wrong, and damn, they did it again. Beautifully done from the Missouri squad to take that one. The Deadeye from Jesse McCream was just absolutely huge in that play, finding the triple at least to clean things up nicely, including catching Apostle while he was out of Diva mech. Could not summon the mech back down, could not hang on to that point much longer. It's completely wiped out, and the Saints are going to end up falling. Solid 2-cap, but granted, the one thing that's a major positive here for the Saints is the fact that they went down to the last couple seconds of their time bank, which means going into an overtime situation, if the Saints get themselves a 2-2 game, it is going to be just a minute of trying to hold off this Missouri Western State University squad. For the defensive side of things on Missouri, it is going to be the bunker coming out this time by, with a little bit of extra help from the May from Jesse McCream, and Jammin' Cat's going to be, of course, on the Reinhardt as well. So Saints coming around the corner under the Murloc. Here we go. Can the Saints find themselves a 2-cap with a better score compared to Missouri? We'll see momentarily. Saints are going to be charging in just a second. They do have the teleporter there from Kale once again, so where are they going to end up trying to go? They're going to try and do the exact same thing, essentially. They're going to get walled out a little bit, but they get the teleporter down in time. Shellboy, though, is on the Bastion. Going to be just melting away any of the members of St. Clair that find themselves not behind a shield. And the really staggered and messy nature here from St. Clair is going to get themselves taken down. Huge pin coming out here from Jammin. Send the Saints packing for just a second, but a couple of the Saints did find their way onto the point, but they're definitely keeping themselves, making themselves known rather, so they're going to go down nice and quick. Going to be pushed aside for now. Shellboy and the rest of the Missouri squad get their opportunity to try and regroup. Are they going to opt to put this Bastion? Sure enough, with a little bit of cover from the Pagoda, and then you got Ninja Pyro with the shield as well. This is a very tough spot to breach, but it is basically the quick play special, the solo queue special. Just when it's an intense defense, bring out the Bastion and hope for the best. That being said, though, Shellboy, she's been actually just melting through this squad. But actually, Prince Wada as well finds himself a double. Jammin' Cat and Jesse McCream both do end up going down. Kale made the switch off the Symmetra, picking the long-range battle here with the Hanzo, and we do have available on the Echo as well. And the support line keeping everything the same, as well as Apostle. So when do they make their move? They have to blow up this Bastion and blow him up quickly. Force him to remove himself, and sure enough, that shield was not in the right position. Saint's going to punish that huge, and that is going to be a solid wipe here. Apostle just going to make sure that point is gathered down, and they're going to start moving, maybe try and find themselves a couple extra picks. Here comes Jammin' Cat from the long-range spot. He's just going to go face planting into the wall like he's Kool-Aid Man, but joke's on him, the wall does not break. That is going to be absolutely brutal, and that's going to put Saints with 5 minutes on the board to try and get the second capture here on this point. And the only ultimate they have available will be the Shatter with the sound barrier short to follow. Shellboy has tank form right around the corner, Blizzard available in a second, and to be honest, a lot of ultimates available in a moment here from Missouri Western State University. They're just slowly going to start seeing those check marks pop on up. Prince Wada going to walk on down. They know something's up. They're from above trying to get the jump onto him. Shatter is going to tag the Bastion, but does she go down? Going to hang on by a thread. Huge healing coming out here from Valkyr. Here comes the tank form. Available is going to be tankier because of that sound barrier from Imp. Going to keep them alive just a little bit longer. And Shellboy going to get jumped on here. Hangs on by a thread, just constantly barely getting timed out, but not enough. Blizzard from Jesse McCream going to try and keep them alive. Diva Bomb from Apostle is going to make them think twice, however. Reinforcements going to be right around the corner. Saints still do not have a third on this point. They're right around the corner from doing so, however. They just need a body of some sort on this point. Apostle is basically in their spawn at this point, keeping them at the door. But as this all has been going down, there's been a bit of a wrecking crew here in the back line. Available going to try and keep this within reach. Sitting there with 26 HP and barely keeping himself alive, but not being focused. Gets smoked out of the air, but right at the right time as the support line has reappeared here for the side of St. Clair, and it's going to be Commanda there with the Amplification Matrix, trying to do as much extra damage and as much extra healing as possible. But it's not going to be enough for at least this moment. Shatter comes out from Prince Wada, does find one, does find two, and that is going to be the pushing forward once again onto this point. Kale gets jumped on. Shellboy, again, with basically her 5th character of this game, picking up the Doomfist, and it comes in clutch to take care of Kale, but the rest of the Saints have been able to tear through on the point for at least this moment. Ninja Pyro pick the Diva, try and get back to the point quickly, but it is not going to be successful. Emergency Hammond trying to make something happen here with Jesse McCream on that May. A bit of a collision course, though, going to make things difficult. Bailable picking the switch up, but actually the ultimate gets completely blown up there, unfortunately, there for the St. Clair squad. This fight has gone on forever, but there has been no points worthy captured at all. We do have the Flux, I think? No, that was the Doomfist ulti. Going to take care of Prince Wada. Saints are going to be forced to retreat. Huge, huge defense here from Missouri Western State University. Messy, but they got the job done. And that was an absolute slobber knocker. Saints need to take a second. They have 2 minutes and 20 seconds still. Take a minute. Regroup yourself. Try to get your squad ready to go. And just stop feeding ultimates to this Missouri squad. All regrouped, looking for the high ground. Of course, that is where Missouri was trying to meet them last time by. They're going to spot Ninja Pyro up there, still on the Diva. Amanda moving on forward. The invulnerability matrix going to keep her alive for just a second until it does go down. Huge takedown there from Ninja Pyro and the rest of the Missouri squad to follow up on that. Apostle right into the back line. One shot away from killing Valkyr. This is 3 down on the side of Missouri. Gunner goes down. There's no supports right now on the side of Missouri Western State. They got to do it. They got to do it now. But here comes Jesse McCream with the Blizzard that gets completely gobbled up by Apostle. That's going to be the second ultimate. He's completely destroyed, negated in this game so far, in this series so far that I can remember. And it's going to get the Saints into a pretty solid position. Got to watch out for that Diva Bomb, however. Not going to find any casualties. Dragon Strike coming on through long range. Takes care of Gunner. We have ourselves another slobber knocker, but the Saints can't afford to lose another one of these. They only have another minute left to go. Prince Wada does take down 2. Where is the Saints support line? Of course, we do have Imp right on the point, ready to go. Is Commanda nearby as well? She's actually in a fantastic position to keep the squad topped off as this fight does continue on. As long as they do not get themselves messed up or get themselves dove on, then they could just keep these prolonged fights happening. And so far, so good. 5 members of the Saints on the point and Commander off in the background. Saints going to get the 2 cap with 1:30 left. Oh boy, it's a good thing that I've had a couple days off from commentating some matches, because this Overwatch series is going to be stressing me out tonight, but I am not complaining in the slightest. Absolutely loving what I'm seeing here from both of these Overwatch squads. Now, of course, overtime here for this Hanamura matchup. And right now, only 36 seconds separates the Missouri squad and St. Clair, so I have to see what do Missouri squad opts for. To be honest, for this first checkpoint, they absolutely destroyed this the last time they attacked. The teleport play from Shellboy and the rest of the squad was good. They were able to get themselves onto point and basically capture it within about a minute. That being said, though, Saints know that this is a possibility. Heck, they used it themselves the last time they were on the attack. Didn't necessarily perform it to as strong as of a level, but it still pulled it off in the end. But now or never here for the Saints, at least on the defensive side of things. Let's see what they do. There is no May on the side of St. Clair College this time by, so they're not going to be able to try and separate the teleporter from the rest of the team. Of course, this Symmetra has been spotted out. They know the teleporter is coming down. Where to go? They're actually just going to go to the low ground this time. Not going to opt for that high ground in the slightest, and that's going to be bailable. Early pick was completely caught off guard, and the Saints are possibly in a position to drop once again. Commander's vulnerability field does end up going down. Prince Wada extremely low, going to get taken down here by Ninja Pyro, and Kale's going to be short to fall as well. It's going to be just Apostle and the rest of the Saints front or support line, and they're not going to be long for this world. This is going to be the second time in a row the Saints get absolutely clobbered here on this first point of Hanamura. The solid switch up from the Missouri squad. Sure, the teleporter play was still the same in a sense, but that being said, where they positioned it was much different. Instead of going to the high ground, they picked the low ground, and Bailable was in a position where if they went to the high ground, he had all day to just shoot from afar. But the nice switch up makes it so that he was basically getting blitzed upon, gets taken down. Does not matter that it was a battle in the air there. Saints were able to, or not Saints, but Missouri was able to take him down. Bit of an awkward spot for the Saints to be in. They're going into the corridor. We're going to see one fall. It's going to be Shellboy going down, but Ninja Pyro finds himself a double. They only have a couple seconds left on the clock as well. They have to have somebody on this point at all times. Apostle going to try and contest, but he is not going to be very long for this world. Does end up going down. Where is the Saints squad? Can they get there? This point is slowly but surely getting taken down more and more. And right now, Gemini on the point alongside Jesse McCream, trying to make something happen. There's going to be the Graviton. It takes Kale, and it takes Prince Wada. Lines it up with the Deadeye again. Triple kill from Jesse McCream to try and capture this point. 1/3 of the way down. Shatter going to come in clutch here from the side of Missouri as well. Ninja Pyro right on point, and I don't think the Saints can contest in the slightest. Huge double capture here for Missouri Western State University. They did not have much time, but they made every second count. Beautifully done.
Initiate
I tell you what, though, if this Bastion composition or whatever Missouri Western State University decides to come out can stall the Saints out for like a minute, I think this round is over. We're going to be tied up going into game number 3 because this has just not exactly been the Saints' cleanest of maps. But to be honest, we haven't seen much Hanamura at all from the Saints season so far, whether it be here in PlayVS or in NECC. So there's a map that Saints maybe not necessarily as comfortable with. I know a lot of players really don't like this map, to be honest, but at the same time, you still got to prepare for it. It's still in the rule book. You can't just gentleman's agree it or do a gentleman's agreement that this map is banned. This isn't Call of Duty, so I'm going to take care of that and going to have to worry about this map still, even if it's not necessarily a player favorite. And this time by, they're actually going to opt for a more long-range control kind of style. That's Shellboy. She's going to be picking up the Hanzo this time by. Jesse McCream going to be back on the Mei again. And they're just going to try and do a little bit of long range with that extra front line of Jammin' Cat and Ninja Pyro as well. Jesse looking for the separation there, looking for the wall. But thankfully there for Prince Wada, spots the Mei, just instantly goes backwards. And then here comes the attack, but Saints, they all squeak in. They also have the invulnerability field there from Commanda to just make sure that nobody got smoked. So far, so good for this side of St. Clair. All grouped up and basically deathballed and ready to go. Just a matter of time before they make their move. We do see on low ground Missouri ready to make a move. And Saints, they're definitely taking their time here, and I'm not sure if they have really the ability to actually take their time. Huge sleep actually from Kale. This is going to be rough, but nicely done there from Apostle to stand on top of his body. Make sure he has that defensive matrix out, but that was a huge wall coming out here from the side of Missouri. It slowed down St. Clair so much, but the first casualty is going to actually be the Mei on the side of Missouri. 3 members go down. Saints so far so good in this situation. They take down basically everybody. Just have to deal with Shellboy, and is going to end up going down before the Dragon Strike comes out. So St. Clair are going to be able to clean this up, but they don't have much time on the clock. They need to move as soon as this capture point happens. Going to be relying on Imp to basically boost everybody in and just throw themselves at this point. Yes, they got 20 extra seconds on the clock, but that's still not enough for 2 fights. They have to move. They have to move now. Where is Shellboy? She does have the Dragon Strike available. That could absolutely make or break a team fight, and she's looking for the flank. She spots them out. Is going to try and cut things off, but the Saints, I don't know if they realized exactly how perfect that call out was, but going to the underground pathway was absolutely huge in dodging that Dragon Strike. Instantly throwing that aside. Now Ninja Pyro does go down first. Where are the rest of the Saints going to end up moving here? Trying from the low ground up. Can they make their way there? They only have themselves 7 seconds left to go. That invulnerability, or not the invulnerability field, but the amplification matrix does basically nothing here in this situation for St. Clair. But it's going to be a shatter back and forth. Apostle finds himself a triple. If they can survive this Graviton, they'll be A-okay. But there's invulnerability matrix from Commanda, and the Saints are going to be able to capture this completely. And we have ourselves a draw, I believe? Unless you just give everybody a minute and try this again. I think we're just going to give them a minute and try it again. So we're going the long route here for game number 2. Holy moly. Tell you what, we're all in for a treat here tonight. Apparently, these 2 teams, absolutely nuts, and I'm loving it. So evenly matched that we got ourselves a fantastic game here tonight.
Ready for battle.
Gonna be Saints' turn to go back on the defensive this time by, and then with Missouri. Do they opt to adjust their attacking squad? Let's hop into the garage here with them and see what they are planning. They have themselves the Bastion on attack as of right now, which would be very odd to say the least. I was going to say that wouldn't make very much sense. There's no pirate shipping in Hanamura. But a bit of a teleport into close range brawl composition with Gunner probably going to be hanging back maybe with Jesse McCream now, considering he switched off to this McCree. And Jesse McCream has been absolutely clutch with his dead eyes. I've not seen a McCree secure so many kills, let alone so many multi-kills so far in this season, and he's been absolutely popping off so far. Gonna eat that Flame Strike, though, for his troubles. Gonna get some decent ult charge over to Prince Wada, but Saint's going to be off to the background. Apostle going to be picking up the Orisa this time by, and Kale lines it up nicely, taking care of Jammin' Cat and Jesse McCream with the halt coming out from Apostle, which is able to suck players out of position. Now they get to have themselves a bit of a more aggressive defensive position. 30 seconds left to go. Shellboy did end up making the switch back to the Bastion, which is a little bit intriguing. I'm wondering if she's going to just try and go to the high portion of that building, but it's going to be a little bit awkward to say the least. Going to dive in. She separates herself actually from the rest of the team to go maybe try and find a high ground position. If the Saints don't realize this, this could very well be devastating. Yeah, the rest of the team's attacking from one angle, but here comes Shellboy from the other side, going through the windowsill and taking care of Apostle. This is actually so messy, so strong right now. If somebody from St. Clair is on that point, they're going to just get absolutely shredded. Beautifully done here from the Missouri Western State University squad. Another cheeky, crafty play from Missouri, and now Saints going to have to deal with yet another point on the board, and they're going to have to try and make something happen here. For this next one, they're going to get, I think, about 20 seconds to try and capture this point. 30 seconds, my mistake. So, at the same time, this Missouri squad does not necessarily have much time left on the clock. Shellboy is already set up, just trying to harass somebody down, try and build a little bit more of that ultimate. Bait Saints to try and make a play onto her, and no one's going to fall for it, but she does get completely blitzed this time. Apostle going to be credited with the kill. Shellboy's going to be down. That's going to be the shatter from Prince Wada going into absolutely nothing. But this is going to be the Blizzard coming out here from Bailable to hold down the tank line of Ninja Pyro. And here comes the Giant Strike as well, right through the stairwell. It's going to nearly get someone, but it's going to be, or not Bailable, it's going to be Prince Wada, who does take care of that one, finds Jammin' Cat as well, and the Saints, unless Gunner can touch, are going to be able to hold it with just one more point. So 5 points total here from the side of Missouri Western State University. Honestly, extremely well played to score even that last extra point. But oh boy, now we get to see if St. Clair can answer. Last time they had about a minute 30 to make the capture, and they just did it underneath the overtime limit. What will happen when they only have the 1 minute? We'll have to see in 1 second. We're going to hop on into their garage, of course, see what they're going to try and pull out this time by. I imagine Symmetra play is going to come out once again. Kale going to probably pick that one up. But at the same time, do they want to risk an all-in? Or they want to try something a little bit different? As of right now, no Symmetra in sight. It's going to be Kale on the long-range sniper duty there on the Hanzo. Available, looking for a close quarters encounter. Wants to be up front with the Mei. And I mean, Apostle's been doing a good job as well of just getting into everybody's face here this game on this Diva. Found himself quite a few multi-kills. I don't think I've called out, like, them into regards to enough credit, but he's been absolutely all over the place, offensive and defensive. We did see on the last attack when Kale got hit by the sleep dart from Gunner, Apostle was right there with the defensive matrix, keeping that player alive. Because of course, if Kale went down there, that'd be absolutely brutal. But now more than ever, the Saints cannot get picked before this team fight actually starts out here. Stay behind your tank, stay behind your shield, and make this play happen. Stay behind your Mei wall too, apparently. That works out as well. We do see the defensive line here from the side of Missouri. More focused onto the point itself. Here come the Saints from the high ground, very similarly to last time. Prince Wada going to get cut off for a second, but now Saints going to keep on moving towards the high ground. With 30 seconds to go, we have ourselves a blitz. We're going to see how this ends up going. Then vulnerability field goes down extremely early in this fight. Both of them going down, actually, so it's just going to be a blitz from this point forward, and the first casualty is going to be Jesse McCream on that Mei. Gets taken down by Kale. Apostle does get purpled, however, not going to be taking too much damage. Apostle going to find the one backline player, but Commanda does go down as well. Kale up front trying to find this other Hanzo, which of course is Shellboy. And so far, Saints have been able to capture this. We could be on pace for a draw. Someone in the chat calling out Dranamura. That very well might be the case if Saints cannot capture this second point. It took them a heck of a long time, and in fact, they only have to get the first third, as Missouri Western State University were not able to get it to that 1/3 mark. So it's going to be all up to this final defense. Kale found a huge pick on the Valkyr. If there's a time to go, this is it. We're going to see if the Saints can move on forward. And not the invulnerability field, but the amplification matrix goes down. And a huge steal from Apostle. Shellboy's Dragon Strike goes down. And it's going to be, again, just constantly gobbling up resources like it's nobody's business. But can somebody touch the point? That was a huge shatter coming out here from Jammin' Cat, and the Saints get absolutely wiped. Dranamura at its finest. Let's see what this play of the game ends up being here. It's going to be Justin McCream. This is probably going to be that that triple kill Deadeye that we saw with them on the defensive side of things. Sure enough, yeah, gobbled them up all in that Graviton there from Jammin' Cat and just completely lit everybody up. Finds himself one more as well. So, holy smokes. What a game here. Unfortunately, nobody going to get credited with the win this time by, but we're just going to end up moving forward towards the hybrid map now. And, my goodness. An absolute slobber knocker between these two teams. It's nice to see two extremely even squads going at it. Putting on a show for us tonight. Yeah, who picks the map in a draw? That is actually a very good question. Looks like we're going to have to summon the rulebook real quick to figure out what happens here, because I know this is not necessarily something that happens too often in league play. Hashtag from move to CP being said by the players in chat. I definitely do not blame them. It makes for some entertaining games, but at the same time, you kind of want to see a finisher, to say the least. So we'll just see in just a second to see who ends up picking the map. Do they just randomize the hybrid map or the escort map, whatever it ends up being? We will see momentarily. Of course, just a little bit of extra deliberation of sorts while we get that all set up. They might just try and ban system it as if it was like a Smash game or something. We'll see momentarily. But, of course, while we do have the briefest of opportunities in between games here, I do want to give a couple thank yous out to the sponsors that do make this all possible, of course. That being St. Clair College, the Zekelman School of Business and Information Technology, Tim Hortons, St. Clair's SRC, and the St. Clair College Alumni Association, and PC Outlet. Thank you for supporting us here on the St. Clair Saints Varsity Esports team. Then, of course, excuse me. Of course, big thank yous to everybody tuning in. You're definitely in for a treat, and we're not even halfway through yet. So it is going to be a continued exciting matchup here between these two teams. Just got to see which map we go to next, and then we'll hop right back into the action. And of course, for anybody who's possibly looking to get into St. Clair College or want to be a part of our team, recruiting is now open and available still for the teams that you do see listed on screen. Be sure to send us your application at the stclairsaints.ca website /join. Get involved. There's no such thing as sending your application in too early, so please do send it in while you can. And if you follow us on our Saints Gaming State Twitter, you may even notice that some players already being announced for this September semester. Of course, every semester, always looking to do what we can to just constantly bring in new talent here to the team. So, or across the board, across all of our teams, that is. So, make sure you get in while you can. There is no open tryout for like last second situation, so we'll have to see. There we go.
Traveling to Dorado.
I'm popping off so much over here that poor Jace is getting scared, it looks like. Big thank you to my fiance Chels for taking care of him. My goodness. We'll see him on the desk one day, I'm sure. Just hopefully not as a player, because if he's anything like his father, he's going to be a rager, and that's not a good thing. So anyway, enough about that. Let's hop into game number 3 as it is just about to get underway. Dorado was selected. The teams took turns making bans, and of course was going to be the map selected. There we go. Hello, Dorado. This time by. Saint's going to be starting on the defense.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
And now this makes a lot more sense this time here if we do see Shellboy pick up the Bastion, because of course with this escort style map, you can set up a bunker right on the point itself and just, as called the pirate ship, just sail away and melt everything. But it looks like that's not going to be the case. The Shellboy is going to be picking up the Symmetra again, unless there's one final switch, we'll have to see. And the Saints with a very defensive, or very passive defense to say the least. A defensive defense, duh. A very passive defense to say the least. Going to allow for this Missouri Western State University squad to come around the corner, basically uncontested, and right around the archway is where you'll probably start seeing them pepper them in. Kale with a nice quick pick. Shellboy switched on over to the Ash. Not going to be able to find very much effectiveness as of yet. Of course, at this point for this Missouri squad, Shellboy basically plays everything it looks like, but that's going to be a solid kill here for the side of Missouri, as it's going to be just Cream finding one, but Apostle right in the back line as well, making things messy here with the St. Clair squad. Gunnar is going to find himself in a really rough position, gets completely taken down. Nice dive from Apostle to take him out. However, Shellboy switching over to the McCree takes care of Prince Wada. Apostle on the flank, just trying to slow down this push as much as possible, but does find himself in a bit of a bad position. Going to try and fly out his way out of there. And the rest of the Missouri squad on the move. I think Saints are going to be forced to give this one up because nobody else seems to be anywhere near this point. Going to boop this side, knocked out of mech. I don't think there's anything that the Saints are going to be able to do to defend it. That being said, they're damn well going to try. We do see the Dragon Strike coming from deep. The capture point was successfully taken by the side of Missouri, so now it's just fighting for the sake of the team fight. Baby Diva mode here for Apostle, and he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Does end up finding the kill onto Jesse McCream, but is not going to be able to survive that much longer, which means this Missouri squad is going to be able to take that first point and make their way forward relatively quickly as well. Still 5 minutes for them to make a play here, get to this second checkpoint. Gunnar with a little bit of extra scouting, spotting out Prince Wada up there on the high ground. Of course, we know the Echo is up there. That's going to be bailable up there in the skies, trying to make the play. And everybody from the side of the Saints looking to play the high ground, including Imp on that, what is it called? The Brigida, that's what it is. You do see the Shaman Barrier coming out right away, and Prince Wada is going to get absolutely nuked down. It's going to be the Deadeye coming out here from Jesse, not Jesse McCree, that is Shellboy going to take care of that one. And the rest of the Saints get absolutely deleted like it's nobody's business, which means just smooth sailing here for this Missouri Western State University squad. And it looks like it's going to be an aggressive attack, as we do see a majority of the front line here for the side of Missouri already up at the doorway, going to basically guarantee that the Saints can't get this for free. Apostle going to get dropped on in. This is going to be bailable, switching over to the Reinhardt. That's going to be a solid Graviton in the background to gobble up the majority of the Saints' offense. And sure enough, that Graviton just held up enough of the Saints to be able to move this cart directly onto the second checkpoint like it's nobody's business. Shellboy going to pick up a nice triple as well. And so far, this Missouri squad has not been stopped. They've just been taking team fight after team fight, cleaning house here so far. Just gotta wait for this garage. I think this garage door has basically been the only thing that stopped them as of this moment. Go over this final corridor here for the side of St. Clair to defend. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of brutal. 5 minutes still on the clock here for them to try and get a full capture. Going to be a little bit rough. It's going to be the double Dragon Strikes coming from both ends. Not going to claim any lives this time by. There goes Bailable. Going to dive down onto Ninja Pyro. Going to take care of them there. Going to try and chase down Jesse McCream here on this this Hanzo. Going to get taken down a little bit, but not taken out. Valkyrie does end up going down, though. Prince Wada on the charge, leading the Saints to try and finally stop this attack. And they're going to finally send Missouri Western State University packing. Prince Wada looking for a little bit of ult charge, but has to be careful that he doesn't get himself kind of gobbled up and picked off. As we do see this entire Missouri squad trying to charge up here. But this is going to be the Amplification Matrix coming out of Gunner, but it's going to be basically shut down as Commanda does find the kill onto the front line. Just going to, with this close quarters area, all this splash healing coming out from Commanda, going to keep everybody topped off. Doing a good job of keeping herself in a safe position while still being maximally effective, whether it be DPS or healing. Commanda making that Baptiste work here today. Imp playing a little bit brave, as the rest of his team have basically left him at this point. So he's got to make his way back. Bailable, going to get tagged up a tiny bit, but here comes the attack from Missouri once again. Trying to make the play as the cart is about a quarter of the way through this section. That is going to be Bailable, making the ult to a Zarya, looking for maybe an extra Graviton, but he needs to get into the front lines. That being said, though, maybe he doesn't even need the ultimate in this situation, considering Kale does find the headshot, winning that duel on the Hanzo. He's going to charge on through, getting stunned up a little bit, but it does not matter. Everybody else on the side of the Saints are here and ready to go. Bailable going to clean things up with a double. And now that it's gotten to this, like, 1/4 of the way through, or maybe halfway through this final checkpoint, Saints have been absolutely impenetrable. So how things have changed, it seems, as we get ready for the next attack. Lots of ultimates on deck here for the side of Missouri, so it's definitely going to be something we have to watch out for. Especially the Graviton coming out here from Apostle. It's going to be countered out by the Shatter, but that is going to be the Kiss of Death coming out here from St. Clair, but it's not going to actually find any casualties. Shellboy with the Deadeye going to take care of Kale, so one big DPS player off the board. Amp Commanda still alive, and I think Bailable just came back from the spawn, so Saints kind of forced to run for the hills for just a moment. We see Shellboy really trying to take down Bailable, spot him out, and sure enough, one bullet from Shellboy's McCree hurts a lot more than one bullet from Bailable's Echo. And a solid flank here, huge flank from Shellboy, taking Kale right off the board, right off the bat. Beautifully done from her. That is going to be the Shatter coming down. It does hit Jam and Cat. That might be the first casualty, but the Panic Ult's basically going to keep Jam and Cat alive. Using the Graviton might have been a bit overkill, but it may not matter if they can get themselves onto this third point. Here comes Imp to try and defend alongside Kale. Can they hold this? Emergency Hammonds coming out here, a Wrecking Ball coming out here from Apostle. Can he keep himself on this point? Of course, gotta watch out you don't go too quickly. Here comes Shellboy's Deadeye, not gonna find any contacts. Prince Wada on the point, nobody home. That is going to be 3-0 here for Missouri, getting themselves 3 cap to start things off.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Definitely happy to have a second to finally get a sip of tea for this series, because it has been absolutely nuts from the get-go. Loving what I'm seeing between these two teams, but Saints definitely have a bit of a mountain to climb here now, considering they got to get 3 points. And to be fair, this Missouri Western State University squad did complete it with a minute still left in the bank, so it wasn't like it was down to overtime either. So bar has been set. Let's see what the Saints can do to try and top that. We do see a long-range composition coming out here for the defense, but we do also see basically the queen of long range right here. It's going to be Bailable on that Widow. Or not that Bailable's a queen, but I mean, Bailable could be a queen if he wants to, by all means. But the double sniper composition going to be coming out here from St. Clair as well. See if it's just a matter of an early pick. We'll have to see momentarily. Of course, Widowmaker, high risk, high reward operator. This ain't Siege. Hero, to say the least. Valkyr barely getting out of dodge after spotting out the Widowmaker, diving away under the safety of the rest of the team. He just have to watch out, of course. Jesse McCream, Shellboy, both ready with long-range heroes to try and stop Bailable from making anything happen. They're going to be taking the high ground. We do see Bailable, or not Bailable, this is going to be Apostle to try and kind of contest them a little bit on this high ground. But if Saints can push through this archway with basically no contest, that is going to be huge for them. But they are going to eventually be stopped, it looks like. That's going to be the invulnerability matrix getting taken down for at least a second. Back and forth battle. The cart's kind of stuck in the archway, which is exactly what Missouri wants to do. You can see it's just such an awkward, tight area to try and get through, and it is going to make Saint's life extremely difficult, to say the least. Shellboy getting extremely low, but gets topped off by the support line nice and quick. Saints trying to protrude their way through. And we do have the amplification matrix. This is going to be Shellboy looking to just absolutely clean house here. That is going to be the shatter coming out here from Prince Wada, but he gets nuked down basically instantly. With Shellboy back here with the rest of the squad shooting through that, each of those bullets just do so much damage. Definitely hard to deal with. Baleable caught on the ground, is going to barely keep himself alive. Apostle going to get cleaned up as well. And so far, they've been able to hold to 2 minutes and 25 seconds still left to go here on the Saints Dorado attack. We do have some resources this time by, however. Dragon Strike right around the corner to try and maybe throw it right onto the point as well. Force the opposition of Missouri to get through that or avoid it. They're going to fire this off, but will it actually gather anybody up? We'll have to see as we ride along with Valkyr, trying to keep everybody topped off here in the background as the rest of his team charges on through. 1 kill onto Amp. Shellboy finds 1 as well. And if we do see Shellboy right in the back lines, 31 HP in a dream, taking care of so many players. She's absolutely nuts. Beautifully done. Minute 40 now for the Saints to try and get this thing to at least the first checkpoint. Get themselves maybe a little bit of time left on the clock. We do have Diva Bomb available. We have the sound barrier as well. But the Saints cannot afford to get somebody picked off very early here in this fight. Kale moving out with the rest of the team. Baleable going to be looking for the flank, but not able to actually land the damage where necessary. Going to let the player get out basically scot-free. Going to be looking for Apostle's Diva Bomb, and is going to actually use the wall to try and slow things down. That's going to be the Diva Bomb finding nobody, but this is going to be the one from Ninja Pyro as well. Not going to find anybody. Jam and Cat nearly getting taken down after picking up this Reinhardt, of course, for this round. 80% on his ultimate could be scary if he's allowed to get that shatter. 50 seconds on the clock here for St. Clair. They need to make a move, and they need to make it quickly. Baleable getting extremely low on health, but hangs on tight. And really, the DPS right now for St. Clair seems like they're sleeping. They're not in a position that they could actually really do anything. This is a very rough spot here for St. Clair. Bob going to be coming out here, takes care of Imp. Of course, Bob's aim hacks are just too strong, but here comes Baleable, going to at least answer back with a refrag onto Jesse McCream. And there comes Baleable in with the Echoed Diva. Here comes the ultimate from Shellboy, looking for the Deadeye. Not going to quite find it. Can they get enough time? That is actually huge for the side of Missouri. They wasted enough time here from Baleable to the point where he could not get a Diva Bomb. Having one would have been absolutely huge. One of the ultimates gets absolutely gobbled up there from the side of Ninja Pyro, though. Him having a solid game as well. But still, so many players excuse me, left on this squad. I don't know if the Saints are going to be able to get there. Apostle here with the Diva Bomb, but the rest of the Missouri squad are going to be able to retreat just in time. Here we go. It's going to get chaotic. It's going to get messy, and this is how we absolutely love it here to finish things off. Valkyr here alongside Jesse McCream, but nobody else is going to be able to actually make contact with the point itself. Saints are going to be able to get themselves in our 2 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock to try and bring this to the second point. Prince Wada going head-to-head here with Jam and Cat, even through the heels of Valkyr, going to be able to take him down. And actually, this is looking very similar to what the Saints were kind of stuck doing on defense. After the first capture, they got basically sent all the way back home. Available with a bit of a switch up here, does have the Tracer available, which would definitely make this long-range composition for DPS a little bit difficult, unless you just straight up nuke him by a quick flick. Beautifully done here by Jesse McCream, instantly knocking Baleable down. That is definitely a confidence hinderer if I have ever seen it, and that is going to be the go button here for this Missouri squad to move on forward. Vulnerability field can keep the Saints alive just a bit longer. We see Apostle just gobbling up so many bullets, but there's only so much you can control. Saints are going to be slowly but surely sent back to the spawn. Kale used the Deadeye, but I don't think it had any real effect here in that matchup, so he's going to be sent back to the spawn basically with everybody else. There's going to be about 4 ultimates on deck here for St. Clair, but there's 4 available on this side of Missouri. Saints definitely in for a tough fight coming up next. This is going to be the Diva Bomb. It's going to nearly take care of Gunner, but it actually took down Jesse McCream, who did have the Bob available. So not going to be available here for this fight. Where is Prince Wada? I'm going to be looking for that shatter, because since that shot from Shellboy completely destroyed the support line on St. Clair, they would have to clean this up with a wombo combo of sorts. Otherwise, if this goes to a long fight, they're not going to be able to do it. That shatter does take care of Gunner and gets Gunner off the field basically as soon as he returns from his last death. Jesse McCree, however, still back here and ready to go. Still has Bob available. And there's going to be the sound barrier coming out from Imp. Has returned with Commanda. Going to try and make the extra push necessary to make this happen. Bob is in play now here from Jesse McCream. Has to watch out for a bunch of extra DPS coming out, and that's going to make Prince Wada really pay for it. Just could not block all that damage. Here comes the amplification matrix from Commanda. Can she and the rest of the Saints squad push forward for this second point? The flank coming out here onto Commanda kind of puts things a little bit messy. She's going to be able to hop right back into Imp's range to at least keep herself alive for just a little bit more. But we can see Person time and time again really making things messy. Apostle coming in huge with a double kill on that Diva Bomb. Might be able to push forward after that one. Kale's going to find another elimination, and Saints should be able to bring this to at least a second checkpoint, but only by the skin of their teeth. But there's still reinforcements coming. Never mind, they do get it. Minute 30 on the clock now for St. Clair. Maybe 2 more fights for Missouri Western State University to make the defense. If they can make it happen, they will take game number 3 and put this to a 1-1 tie. Looking for the shatter. Prince Wada, is it your birthday today? We will find out shortly, as Apostle takes care of Jesse McCream up in the top, who did pick up the soldier. That is going to be the Diva Bomb coming through. Shellboy does go down. Shatter going to find the tank at least, keeping Prince Wada alive in the meantime. They do also blow the sound barrier to keep everybody topped off. Bailable getting aggressive right here in the spawn, and he's going to take care of 2. Saints are basically 1 push away from completing this third cap, and there it goes. They're able to get it off that final one, and we have ourselves another tied game going into overtime. Beautifully done here so far.
Initiating match.
Okay, Saints are going to be the ones on the attack first, as they only had a minute left considering they were down into the seconds, I believe, from that last one. But definitely both teams have their work cut out for them. A minute 40 seconds for the side of Missouri is not that much better. So we're going to have to see how far can Saints push this. Can they get this thing to the checkpoint and score themselves another point? Or will that be it? Of course, in escort overtime, if you do capture the checkpoint, you do not get any more time in the bank. So you have to still stick to that point or stick to that cart like glue. Otherwise, that is going to be game. I have no idea how all these people can be just casually chilling in their boats right now after a match like we've been seeing so far. Looks quite nice nonetheless, though. Nice little ocean or whatever. But anyway, no distractions, no looking at shinies. We got to get ready for the matchup at hand. We're St. Clair going to be picking up the attacking round basically very similarly to what they did last time by. Going to be right along with Bailable, trying to see if he can get some quick pot shots here at the defending squad of Missouri, but has to be careful. You do have the Hanzo, you have Shellboy on the McCree again. Lots of players that can just opts to try and get the shots onto the flying echo of Bailable. And at least Saints are going to go basically... Okay, it's going to be basically deja vu here in this situation, where we do see Ninja Pyro and the rest of the Missouri squad looking to pinch him off here right in this corridor. Get right along here with Apostle, who's basically frontlining through this entire thing. He's going to find the kill onto Ninja Pyro. That's actually huge for Swada, finding one as well. The Resurrection does get put onto Ninja Pyro, but it might not matter as Apostle finds himself a double. 9 seconds left in this game. They may be winning the team fight, but is somebody on the cart? They absolutely are. Saints are on fire here to start off this overtime attack. They will get this first checkpoint, no contest. However, they have to, of course, stay glued to this thing. Otherwise, it is going to be the game. As we ride along, you're watching the front line. Imp and Prince Wada, basically the dynamic duo here. Imp, of course, needed to just constantly move Prince Wada where he needs to go, be extremely quick and whatnot. Otherwise, that Reinhardt is such a slow champion or hero that it's a little bit difficult to use at times. Oh, that's a good little jump from Apostle. Able to jump onto Shellboy and get the kill even before that even goes off. Going to stop that flank. Saints know that Shellboy and the rest of this Missouri squad are looking to get cheeky, and that's going to be a huge shatter coming out from Prince Wada. And Commanda going to find herself a triple kill, actually, while also topping everybody off. Who says the supports can't frag? Saints are going to just keep pushing this forward. Going to be right on the doorstep of this second checkpoint. If they can get 2 points on the board, that would be absolutely huge. And again, Apostle just looking for flankers as we do see Shellboy picking up the Tracer this time by, but here comes the Graviton. It's going to get a little bit messy. Baby Diva mode coming out here from Apostle to get the elimination. So far, so good for the Saints. They're right on the doorstep. They do successfully capture his second point. Gonna charge on through. Jesse McCream going down. Imp with the triple. Just going absolutely crazy. Skating around and taking names, apparently. Garage comes on up. Final checkpoint in the sights of St. Clair. Just got to get around the corner for one good fight. And to be honest, this Missouri Western State squad, they've been switching operators. They've been switching heroes this entire series, or this entire game so far. So Valkyr on the Mercy is the only one with an ultimate. Which sure, that's nice to have that extra defensive ultimate, but you need a playmaker. Granted, Saints have nothing in the tank right now, so it's going to be a bit of an even fight as of this moment. Where in the world is Kale basically frontlining here, or not necessarily frontlining, but right there behind the card. Pulse bomb, huge from Shellboy, that just completely clutched the round.
Score 5-3. Switching sides.
By blowing the 3 of them up like that, Shellboy able to at least shut down any further push. No triple cap here for the St. Clair attack, which granted, they were definitely on pace to do so. That fight was going pretty even. But again, Shellboy just constantly showing her expertise on all of these heroes. We've seen her play basically like maybe 5 or 6 different offensive champions here in this game. And really helping this Missouri squad really clutch up here. That being said, though, both Shellboy, Jesse McCream, both with some clutch ultimates here today. And, of course, everybody on that Missouri squad playing clutch as well. Not just giving love to the DPS players. Now, Saints need to defend as best as possible. Granted, they do have a little bit of space to work with. However, this is looking a little bit awkward. We've seen them do this defense before. And if they aren't careful, this is going to not go very well in just a moment. We will have to see. Basically, the sneak attack. Jesse McCream on the Tracer is going to be able to spot this. And it's going to be Imp who's going to be the first casualty. So this is absolutely worst case scenario here for St. Clair. Prince Wada does go down. The only casualty in this fight as right now for the side of Missouri is going to be Gunner. But otherwise, this is just asking for trouble here. Jam and Cat and the rest of this Missouri squad just completely wipe through Saints, trying to get cheeky. And they're actually going for an extremely aggressive defense, or yeah, extremely aggressive position here for this next attack. Is there anybody here if Jam and Cat finds a sneaky shatter, I wonder? On point blank, sees the Saints all wound up here. Shatter comes down. It does land on a few, but they're all underneath the invulnerability matrix from Commanda. So Saints going to keep themselves alive. However, Shellboy, pirate ship incoming, charging through. Here comes the ultimate. Tank mode coming through. Just a matter of time before they ends up taking them down. Never mind, Baleable stays in the fight just by a thread, by actually transforming into a Bastion himself. Tank mode available as well to try and clean things up. Saints are going to be able to finally hold this. Gunner is going to get staggered out here. They're really going to just take their time, not let him get killed until the very last possible moment. So with 20 seconds left, Saints are in a fantastic position to take this game if they can hold off for one more team fight. Here comes the amplification matrix there from Commanda. Shatter comes down from Prince Wada. I can't see if it actually made proper contact, but it did take care of Ninja Pyro. Diva Bomb takes care of Jesse McCream. I don't care how fast you are. You find yourself open, you're getting blown up, and the back and forth battle here continues. Bit of a resurrection coming out here from Valkyrie. Is going to get killed before it could even come down. Saints all across the W column here on this kill feed. And it's just a matter of dealing with Ninja Pyro as the overtime ticks down. Saints going up 2-0 in the series after taking Game 3.
Play of the game.
Jam and Cat going to find the play of the game. Let's take a look and see what happened this time by up in the house alongside Jesse McCream as well. I mean, when the Saints just line them up perfectly for you like that, to the point where you just got to hold down left click and just aim that hammer in the proper direction, and you're probably going to get it because it's such a close quarter space that I don't know why you would go up against anything AoE like that. Bit of a rough time, but at the same time, it would have been cheeky if it worked, but unfortunately got completely flipped on its head. That being said, though, Saints were still able to get the defense in overtime at the end, so they find themselves in the win column nonetheless, which at the end of the day, that's the part that matters, right? Did you finish the game ahead or not? Game 4 going to be right around the corner. And we'll have to see if this is the ceiling of Missouri Western State University's run, considering that Kings Row is going to be the map here for game number 4. Hybrid style, of course, capture 1 point, then you push the cart. Which, of course, this map in particular is one the Saints have basically played to death. So we'll have to see. I know this is a popular map amongst the majority of the community, so it's not necessarily just a Saints favorite, but we definitely do see it quite often. As we get ready to hop into game number 4, possibly the decider here tonight, if Saints could find themselves one more considering they're on match point. I may not be wearing it right here, right now, but that being said, definitely check out some of our Saints merch currently in the Acquire shop that we do have, of course. Whether it be jackets, jerseys, masks, sweaters, I think we're going to be getting some hats and some other stuff sometime soon as well. Definitely want to keep an eye on our acquire.ca/Saints store and represent your Saints in fashion. I know, definitely not biased at all, but I absolutely love my jacket as well. And oddly enough, I need to get myself a jersey sometime, so we'll see. My birthday's right around the corner. Maybe I'll get lucky. But we'll see. Hopping into game number 4 right here, right now. Let's get on into the action. We're also just mentioning real quick again, make sure that you join us tomorrow, considering we have another banger in the making, considering Durham is up against St. Clair in NECC Rocket League action. 5:30 tomorrow right here on the Saints Gaming CA channel. We're definitely going to be the underdogs, but we could pull through. We'll have to see if we end up taking home the W. Would be absolutely amazing if we could. Now, without further ado, let's hop into this matchup. Saints on the defense to start things off. We do have available on the May this time by. Wait for that wall. Sure enough, there it is. Jam and Cat might not be long for this world. And it's going to get taken down. Never mind, that's Kale who actually gets dropped really early. And they've been able to save Jam and Cat. This is actually a bit of a worst case scenario here for St. Clair until they finally do end up finding them. So they might be able to salvage this in the end. The Widowmaker coming out here from Jesse McCream, throwing St. Clair for a loop. And then we do see the Missouri squad kind of picking up where they left off in game number 1 with the pharmacy combo from Valkyrie and Shellboy. They tried this early in the series, but did not have much effectiveness. But with the backup of the Widowmaker of Jesse McCream and the additional threat that is Ninja Pyro here on the Roadhog, might be enough to take the attention away from the pharmacy combo. So we see Ninja Pyro take care of Commanda as well. That's going to be the Shatter coming out here from Prince Wada, but it was a bit of a Hail Mary, to say the least. They're going to try and get themselves onto the point, which, to be honest, they have made it there, but there's going to be a solid hook coming out from the side of Missouri. It's going to be Ninja Pyro taking care of that, which means everything is going to get all cleaned up here for side of Missouri. They're going to take that first checkpoint, and it's just a matter of time before we start pushing this cart. Missouri looking strong. Ninja Pyro on this Roadhog looking absolutely crazy as well. Jammin' Cat just holding the line as best as possible. Sportline keeping everybody topped off as well. Saints, no ultimates in hand. They gotta be ready because this barrage is right around the corner. And here they comes, jumps on in, completely melting the Saints. Beautifully done there from Shellboy. I mean, that's the problem with this composition here for St. Clair. They don't have the Ana to snipe Sleep Dart on Shellboy as of right now, which means this Pharah, unless you just counter it with damage, will be able to get that ultimate out basically uncontested as long as she doesn't fly point blank into like a McCree stun or something. So this is looking absolutely brutal. They haven't even made it to this first or the second checkpoint, but they're basically already fighting as if it's the third. We're going to see the Flux come out here from Jammin' Cat and just line up the Saints. It's going to be the Invulnerability Matrix coming out here from Commander, though, to keep everybody topped off as much as possible. But yeah, they get the kill on the Jammin' Cat, does not matter. Valkyr right there, ready to go. And now, third checkpoint right around the corner. Saints basically have everybody with an ultimate, but they've not been able to actually organize a solid team fight. We're going to see the Graviton come down, but that was a very awkward Graviton coming out here from Apostle. Yes, they find Jammin' Cat, but that's just one player. It's not like they're going to be charging through and actually making something happen here. And Jesse McCrean does take care of Imp as well. We see the cart coming into sight right here, and this is going to be the go time here for St. Clair to try and make something happen. How do they deal with this Pharah in this, or this pharmacy combo, though? As soon as she lands, however, does get taken down at least a little bit, but of course being topped off as much as possible by Valkyr. Available, not going to be long for this world. Good shield actually coming out here from Apostle. Saints trying to defend, trying to push back this squad. So they spent enough time stalling out here. The rest of this Missouri Western State University squad do make it here. Gunner does get taken down, but got to watch out for the Roadhog. Got to watch out for Ninja Pyro, who's ready to push the Saints all the way with that whole hog in another situation where unless he gets hit by the McCree stun, there is nothing Saints can do outside of an ultimate to shut him down. Imp gets separated here from Prince Wada. A bit of an awkward positioning error for him. He's going to get smoked. Here comes the ultimate, however. Shatter comes on down. And we got ourselves basically everybody going in the favor of St. Clair this time by. Do end up using 1-2 ultimates or so, but they do finally stop this attack. They still have 3 minutes and 40 seconds to have to push through, however. Still a tough task at hand. And now that we're in these close quarter scenarios, I like what I see out of Missouri. Never mind the Widowmaker. Let's go like face to face. Let's bring out the Reaper. Let's get ready to brawl. Shellboy goes down extremely quickly. Solid shot there from Kale. Jesse point blank there with the Diva, able to do a bunch of damage. Granted, not enough to take him down just yet. And Valkyr right there once again, bringing Shellboy back into the game. And right in time for a barrage. She does end up getting taken down. Kale had her number this time by. The Blizzard comes out here from Bailable as well. That's going to clean this up, and Saints are going to send them packing once again. Back to the spawn room. 3 minutes to go. All right, Missouri back and ready to go. Apostle taking a little bit of heat to start off this team fight. Prince Wada, though, does have the Diva Bomb available. Just insta-pin onto the Ninja Pyro, which makes that Diva Bomb completely shred the tank line. I like that play coming out of St. Clair. Beautifully done. And they're going to be able to charge them all the way down to their spawn once again. Just a matter of dealing with Jesse McCream. Sends him backpacking, but the rest of Missouri respawned and ready to go. So Saints doing a solid job of killing time here without the usage of much ultimates. They used the Diva Bomb, and then the positioning was perfect for Prince Wada. I was expecting the Shatter, but he straight up didn't need to. I liked what I saw there and just used what they had to do. That being said, though, on the way, eats a boulder, but he's not going to go down just yet. Looking for the positioning around that May wall, but it's just going to be a bit of a warning shot. Saints end up going a bit neutral here, just sticking on the card. Apostle alongside Jesse. Can he take him down? Actually, that's going to be the mech going down. Here comes the Flux, and what is going to happen? There's a sound barrier coming down from Imp to keep them alive. There's this pin coming out, Prince Wada. Gotta watch out. Here comes Jesse McCream with a double, and that is going to make things extremely difficult now here for St. Clair. On the charge, ready to push this all the way home. Just a matter of time. Saints have one more opportunity. Can they get here in time? I like the split here. Apostle's going to make his way onto the point, basically uncontested. A good positioning here, and here comes the Blizzard actually from Bailable as well. Just enough to kind of keep them off point, and as of right now, so far so good. Imp's going to boop Jam and Cat off the side. Now a minute left. Honestly, this Missouri squad just needs to wipe and get back to spawn and group up one more time. They are going to have one more solid push to try and do this, and the only thing they have to plow through is a Diva Bomb and a Shatter from Prince Wada. That being said, Ninja Pyro has a Shatter as well. It's going to be a game of Shatters. Here comes the Diva Bomb, but a huge sleep, but a huge Diva Bomb. Huge triple coming out here from Apostle. That is going to shut this right down. I was convinced that the sleep onto the Tang onto Prince Wada would have been detrimental big time, but it did not matter. They were able to somehow turn that fight around with the lone Shatter, oh, not the lone Shatter, the lone Diva Bomb. Where's Prince Wada? Is he spotted? He's behind enemy lines. Shatters, takes one down. He's going to take care of Jesse McCream. The Reaper is going to be off the point, but Prince Wada is basically going to trade his life for it. I'm not sure how valuable that was, considering they only got the one player. We'll have to see how this plays out. Imp going down. Blizzard coming out, I believe, from the side of Missouri. No, they don't have a May. What am I talking about? Apostle's all the way to the far side. Where is the point? Are they going to be able to make something happen? Prince Wada on point, trying to make something happen. Hang on for dear life, trying to be as much of a nuisance as possible. Available here as well. That is Baby Diva coming out here from Apostle to try and get himself back into this fight. Prince Wada trying his damnedest, just do as much interference as possible. Jammin' Cat on point, though, to at least keep this overtime going. A little bit tough here. Actually, a little bit of positioning given up by somebody from Missouri on the point. They're going to be able to hang on for just a second. Can they keep this up? Right now, Kale and Apostle find themselves some good frags. That being said, though, Prince Wada getting booped basically by Shellboy's Doomfist. The Blizzard, though, coming in clutch, but are the Saints going to be able to clean this up? No. Huge sound barrier coming out here from Gunner. Keeps things alive, keeps his team in this game. It's just skating around this point as much as possible. So many Saints are here on the point, but at the same time, these bombs are going to make things a little bit difficult to deal with. This attack is still going. Jesse McCream is here. Wraithwalk is used. Death Blossom is going to get gobbled up by Apostle. No value in that one. Huge boop coming out here from Imp to take that one down. Just takes Jesse McCream off, and they're eventually going to be able to successfully hold this defense right on the outskirts of that third capture point. So beautifully done from the Saints to be able to hang on to that one. The overtimes have been kind of crazy here today, but oddly enough, that was one of the more tame ones this series, as we see. Just so close, but yet so far here for Missouri Western State University, able to just hang on, or Saints able to just hang on by a thread, and the fact that Imp was able to get that extra boop, pushing Jesse McCream's Reaper off right away. He was full health, ready to get into the fight. Could not make it happen, could not get any value out of that hero, and also with that Death Blossom, where Apostle just gobbled up every single bit of it with that defense matrix, making every bullet basically miss. So beautifully done there. They needed a clutch defense, they absolutely did it, but now we need to see something better on attack. With this not getting to the third checkpoint, one way or another, this game is finishing right here, right now. But we'll have to see if we're going into a Game 5 to see if Missouri can tie up the series, or is St. Clair going to be able to finish this off right here, right now? We'll have to see. And it's looking a little bit odd right now. Okay, I thought we were going to see a Pharah dogfight for a second here. But that's not going to be the case. Kayle going to be picking up the McCree this time by. And here we go. Saints on attack for Kings Row. A place they've been on time and time again, season after season. Let's see if they can get something started. Shellboy with a huge double to start things off, however. Taking care of Bailable, taking care of Imp as well. Saints are going to be forced to retreat as we do ride along here with the attack, or with the counterattack essentially, here from Shellboy and the rest of the Missouri Western squad. Saints have to retreat at this point. They're just finding themselves in a position where they're getting staggered constantly. 3 minutes still to go to capture this first initial point. And of course, you do get a little bit of extra time when you do capture this, when it's not in overtime. This pharmacy combo, though, out of Shellboy and Valkyr has been getting so much value here for this Missouri State squad. Missouri Western State University squad, rather. You have to watch out. The barrage is around the corner. Jesse McCream finds one kill. Shellboy had a pretty solid flank, but it would have been maybe only on one member. Available, going to get sniped out of the sky. Jesse is absolutely on fire here. Has a Dragon Strike available as well. Commander going to be next to fall. Shellboy does end up falling, however. Kayle going to find the elimination in that regard. But with so many Saints falling, I don't think that the Saints can keep pushing this. We have 2 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock. They need to regroup once again. Try to combo up some of these ultis and make something happen. However, they might have waited a little bit too long. There's going to be 6 ultimates for the side of Missouri here. I'm not sure how the Saints can properly fight through this. So have to see Shellboy looking to get sneaky, fires through and gets instantly popped, but Commanda did get taken down as well. So the 1-for-1 trade, but that is absolute value for St. Clair. Also in the backline here with Jesse McCream trying to take him down. He's been doing such a good job since this defense finally gets taken down, but does trade his life for it. Bailable still here. Deadeye from Kayle takes care of Valkyr. Just a matter of dealing with this Reinhardt. Kayle going to find the kill there. And who's still here? This is actually Jesse McCream back in action. Does actually get taken down, loses the ultimate for him, but at least Bailable, upon returning back to the Echo form, able to take the kill. And Saints, minute 25 left on the clock. They're able to secure that, so now they get about 4 minutes left to make this push. Diva Bomb coming out here from Apostle is going to just take nothing but that invulnerability field. So solid there nonetheless, but Prince Wada going to find one elimination as well for himself, and the Saints are shredding through. Bailable in the back line, just bobbing and weaving and doing everything he needs to do. Huge team fight here for St. Clair. Everybody basically got on the board, and a huge push opportunity. Get more players on the cart. Rather than putting more players on the card, actually, they're going to opt for a very aggressive positioning to just allow for that lone player. I'm guessing it's going to be Commanda on cart. Yeah, they're going to leave Commanda back here and just let everybody else go right to that second checkpoint. Make it extremely difficult for the side of Missouri Western State University to make their way towards this cart. About halfway there, however. Only having Commanda there is going to make things extremely slow. Where is she at this point? She's actually positioned that she can do some long-range healing. So to be honest, and all things considered, it's a solid setup. But you gotta watch out for this Dragon Strike coming out here from Jesse McCream. It's gonna take care of the front line. Prince Wada does go down. Where is that Deadeye? That's going to be Kayle to fire that one off. Not gonna find any contact, however. Do have Bailable up on the high ground. There's gonna be the Shatter. It's gonna hit a lot of the members of St. Clair. Commanda, Imp, both going down. Kayle getting smoked as well. The huge Shatter coming out here from Ninja Pyro. Gonna send Saints packing. They're eventually going to find Bailable here as well, so Jam and Cat and the rest of Missouri finally get in position to try and set up properly for this defense. The Valkyr basically in the pocket of Jesse McCream as well. All of those arrows are going to hit like a truck. If he can find a shot outside of a shield, that is going to be absolutely brutal. Saints taking a long way around, however, going to force just McCream to make a move away. That is going to be the Deadeye coming out from Shellboy. Doesn't find contact with anybody. It is going to get nothing but the invulnerability shield. Saints on the move. Where does the shatter take place? We know Prince Wada has it ready and waiting. He's going to find Jam and Cat, but is that going to be enough to take the fight by itself? I'm not 100% sure. We do see the echoed version of Reinhardt coming through, and Baleable, Kale, Apostle, and everybody is getting the shots they need, finding their marks, and that's going to be some big damage coming out here from Baleable onto Gunner as well. And that is going to be the second checkpoint, taken down. Saints have the match in their sights, just into that little square that we do see just a little bit further aside. Baleable has to be careful, however. Any early pick can absolutely be dividends for the other side. Only ultimate on deck right now will be the Deadeye from Kale, as well as the Diva Bomb coming out from Apostle. It's going to be the Deadeye coming through now for Kale. Not going to quite find any target. That Shatter coming out of Ninja Pyro went into nothing but a shield. So Saint's going to be able to stay nice and safe. Here comes the Diva Bomb. They're going to move on it, and the support line goes down. This is Saint's time to move, and they're going to take care of Shellboy before the ultimate can even get through. Saints are on the doorstep, and they successfully take this 3-0. Apostle's Diva Bomb is probably going to be your play of the game this time by. Sure enough, going to be the case. The triple that stopped that attack was absolutely phenomenal. And both of these teams, I need to give absolutely all the credit in the world. They both played their butts off tonight. And the fact that this is a 3-0 does not do the game justice. It was so close all the time. And I personally had an absolute blast commentating this match. Big props to everybody involved. And of course, good games to everybody as well. So St. Clair finally getting themselves on the win side of things. They've had themselves a couple hard matchups in a row. A little bit of a lost streak going, but they finally get themselves back on the right track. This now puts them 2-3 in the PlayVS series as of right now. And we're going to take a look real quick at some standings if I do have them pulled up. I'm going to double check it right here, right now, to see who they have to try and play next here in PlayVS. Because they do have another match later on in this week. So I'm just going to double check, make sure we got all the stuff accurate. Check, check, check. Oh, it doesn't tell me yet. So won't be able to figure that out just yet, unfortunately. I guess the PlayVS site isn't that quick in regards to their schedule. But with that being said, a couple big thank yous, of course, to everybody for tuning in. You had yourself a treat tonight with these two teams playing up against each other. Thank you for supporting your squad. Whether you're here for Missouri or whether you were here for St. Clair, always a pleasure having you here on the Saints Gaming CA Twitch channel, being able to bring you all the action here tonight. But there is, of course, excuse me, way more action where that came from this week. We take a look at our schedule tomorrow on March 30th. We do have some NECC Rocket League action at 5:30. And Call of Duty is in the midst of their postseason and going into the playoffs, so no Call of Duty this week until Saturday anyway. Nothing for CCL. So the next matchup we would then have is Wednesday at 8 o'clock for some PlayVS Fortnite Trios action. Then Thursday, double-header PlayVS Rocket League action. 2 matches, of course, so should be a fun one starting at 8 o'clock. Friday, some CR6 Rainbow Six Siege action. Another one of our squads that just need to catch a break, hoping that this next matchup we see on Friday will be the day they find themselves back on the W side of things. Then Saturday, we do get to see some Call of Duty, but not for CCL. It is going to be for the Activision Blizzard Collegiate Cold War. Excuse me. Of course, you're tired of watching things, you want to get involved. You want to be the player, so be sure to hop onto our website, that is, and get to the application. Teams on the screen are possible prospects for this next semester coming up, so be sure to apply. stclairsaints.ca/join to get noticed and get your application to the proper coach and get yourself out there. And may not necessarily be on a slide, but one thing as well, if you are a student of St. Clair and you want to get in on the production side of things, or you think you want to be a commentator, hop on to the St. Clair Saints Discord and send me a message, and we can get you involved regardless of your experience level. Love to level up new commentary, new observers, new production staff here on the Saints stream. As much as I love, incidentally, being the face of the St. Clair Saints since I'm on these streams all the time, I would love to actually be able to share that with all of you. So if you want to get involved, be sure to send me a message on Discord. And of course, a big thank you to the sponsors that make this all possible. That being, of course, the Zeckelman School of Business and Information Technology, PC Outlet, Tim Hortons, St. Clair College, the St. Clair College Alumni Association, and St. Clair's SRC for supporting us here on the St. Clair Saints varsity sports team. And lastly, before we do close on out, if you want to get your hands on a little bit of Saints merch, be sure to check out our acquire.ca shop and get yourself, whether it be a jacket, jersey, face mask, sweater, and way more to come as well. Make sure you check us out, acquire.ca/Saints, to represent your Saints in style. But with that, that will close things out for tonight. So again, big thank you for everybody for tuning in. It was awesome to see such a fantastic match between these two teams. But in the end, Saints are going to take this home in 3-0 fashion. So, and big GGs to everybody. Hopefully, this will be a match that we can watch time and time again for months to come. Because even though this was a 3-0, that score does not do the game justice. But with that being said, let's close on out here for tonight. I will catch you tomorrow for some NECC Rocket League action.